संगतां नाल जाके हुण असीं गल्लां करदे हां, पुछदे हां उन्हां दे की विचार आ 84 ते। हाँ जी भाजी,
वाहिगुरू जी का
खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। हाँ जी, इत्थे अज मुजाहरा है, असीं पुछदे हां संगतां नूं अज क्यों कारण है इहदा, मुजाहरे दा रीजन की हो। इत्थे सारियां संगतां आईयां हज़ारां दी गिनती विच।
देखो मुजाहरे का मैनू लगता कारण आई डोंट थिंक सो कि मैनू ये दस्सण दी लोड़ आ, सारिਆਂ ਨੂੰ पता 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ जून ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ।
हाँ जी,
लेकिन मैटर ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਕਰਦਾ कि ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ।
हाँ जी,
ਮੁਜ਼ਾਹਰਾ हर साल ਹੁੰਦਾ,
हाँ जी,
ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ हर साल ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। मैटर ਇਹ ਕਰਦਾ कि ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। 39 ਈਅਰਸ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਆ, ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਮੁਜ਼ਾਹਰਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਲੀਕਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ
जी,
ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ,
हाँ जी,
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੋਚਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ,
हाँ जी,
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਰੇ ਚੱਲੋ,
ਤੁਰੇ ਚੱਲੋ,
ਜਿਹੜੇ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਹਾਦਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਗਏ, ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਵਾਰ ਗਏ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ,
हाँ जी,
ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕੀ ਦੇਣ ਆਏ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ।
सही गल जी।
ਸੋ ਲੰਬਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਨਿਭਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਹੁਣ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਉਨੇ ਆ,
हाँ जी,
ਸੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਮੈਜੋਰਿਟੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਪਿਕਨਿਕ ਵਾਂਗ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ।
ਜੀ,
ਸੌਰੀ ਟੂ ਸੇ,
हाँ जी,
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸੋਚਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਜਾਨਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ ਰੱਖੀਆਂ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਲਈ।
जी, जी,
ਸੋ ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਚੇਤੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਣਾ, ਸ਼ਰਧਾਂਜਲੀ ਭੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ? ਉਹ ਆਮ ਸੌਰੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁੱਖ ਆ, ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਟ੍ਰੈਜਡੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਐਂਡ ਦੈਟਸ ਇਟ।
ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ?
ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਹੁਣ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਲਓ, ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ। ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਹਰ ਸਿੱਖ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਣ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿਸ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ। ਫਸਟ ਆਫ ਆਲ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਕੰਮ ਇਹ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਓਪਨਲੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਲਾਓ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਰੋਕਦਾ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕ ਹੋਵੇ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਵੇ, ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਆ। ਸੋ ਉਹ ਰੋਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਬਾਈ ਲੋ। ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫਰੀडम ਆਫ ਸਪੀਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਵਿਊਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਬੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ। ਇਹ ਟੈਰਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਆ, ਇਹ ਰੈਡੀਕਲਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਆ, ਐਂਡ ਇਹ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਆ। ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ, ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਓਪਨਲੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਾ ਜਾਈਏ, ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਥੇ ਵਸਾ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਈਏ। ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੇਤੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ। ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਐਂਡ ਵੀ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਵਰਕ। ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਕੰਪੇਨ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਲੇਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਕੰਪੇਨ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਅੱਜ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਕੰਪੇਨ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਹਰ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਲੜਨ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਮਾਂ, ਕੋਈ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟਜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾਓ, ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਓ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਲੇਮ ਰੱਖ ਸਕੀਏ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਪੇਨ ਨੂੰ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਓਪੀਨੀਅਨ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਡੀਕਲਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਕੰਪੇਨ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਤੋੜ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਈ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਖੜੋਤ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਉਹ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਨੇ ਤੋੜ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਆ। ਅੱਜ ਇਟਸ ਓਕੇ ਟੂ ਸੇ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਟੈਰਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਹੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ, ਨੋਟ ਐਨੀ ਮੋਰ।
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਆ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ।
ਨੋਟ ਓਨਲੀ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ, ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਜੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਡਰਿਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੁਲਟ ਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਡਰ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬੈਲਟ ਤੋਂ ਡਰ।
ਮੇਨ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਹੋਣਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ।
ਐਕਟਿਵ ਹੋਣਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ। ਸਿਰਫ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ, ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ। ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੇਸੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਐਕਟ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਕਸਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਰਨਾ, ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਕਲ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਮੈਟਰ ਕਰਦਾ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ। ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਵੇ, ਅੱਜ ਆਮ ਸੌਰੀ ਟੂ ਸੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਵੀ ਆਏ ਹੋਣੇ, ਐਂਡ ਮੈਂ 100% ਸ਼ੋਰ ਆ ਅੱਜ ਕੋਚਿਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਆਈਆਂ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਟੇਜ ਤੇ ਕਦੇ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨ ਦਿੰਦੇ। ਸੋ ਵਾਟ ਇਜ਼ ਦੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ? ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ 1984 ਦੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਂਜਲੀ ਭੇਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ।
ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ।
ਸੋ ਜੇ ਰਿਐਲਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਂਜਲੀ ਇਹੀ ਆ, ਜਿਸ ਕੋਜ਼ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਾ ਵਾਰਿਆ, ਉਸ ਕੋਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਗਲੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਈਏ।
ਠੀਕ ਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਆ ਬੋਲਣ ਦਾ, ਨਾਲੇ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਉਠਾਉਣ ਦਾ, ਨਾਲੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਉਠਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਆ ਇਨ ਅ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਟੂ ਸਪੀਕ ਅਪ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਆ ਬੋਲਣ ਦਾ, ਹੱਕ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ। ਕੋਈ ਵੀ
ਰੋਕ ਸਕਦਾ
ਜੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ,
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੋਕ ਸਕਦਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫਰਜ਼ ਨਿਭਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹਰੇਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ,
ਫਰਜ਼ ਨਿਭਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ ਜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਆ? ਤੁਸੀਂ 39 ਇਅਰਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੀ ਆ। ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ, ਹਾਂਜੀ। ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਅੱਜ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਡੈਮੋਨਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ। ਜੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਇਟਸ ਆਲ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਆਫ ਦਿਸ। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਨਾ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਣਾ। ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ, ਹਾਂਜੀ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ, ਬਟ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਕਲ ਸਾਰਥਕ ਰੂਪ ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਓਕੇ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ 5 ਪਿਆਰੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ। 2 ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੰਡਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ, ਅੱਜ ਸਾਰੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਝੰਡੇ, ਅੱਜ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ ਚੱਕੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ। ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੇ ਝੰਡੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਉੱਧਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਜੁੜੀਆਂ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਵੀ ਜੀ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਹਿਣੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਆਏ ਆ? ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਕਾਰਨ ਕੀ ਆ ਜੋਨ ਦਾ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ।
ਆਪਣਾ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਲੈਣਾ ਜੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਜ ਲੈਣਾ ਜੀ।
ਅੱਛਾ, ਰਾਜ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ।
ਸਾਡੇ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੋਂ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਭੇਜੋ, ਸਾਡਾ ਰਾਜ ਮਿਲੇ, ਸਾਡਾ ਰਾਜ ਮਿਲੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ। ਬਸ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਰਾਜ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਵੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Why are we here today?
For truth and justice. For 84.
For 84, okay. What is it exactly that happened in 84? Because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what happened in 84.
When Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister, she authorised the attack on the Golden Temple, and there was lots of innocent people that were murdered.
Okay.
It's still kind of like the similar situation, because at the end of the day they're still attacking us in India with the Kisan stuff as well, but obviously we can't, like, they still don't want to listen. But I think if we really put our mind to something, we can make a change.
But do you think that with the Payamurpa situation, do you think that kind of reminds us of 84 again? Because a lot of people have said that today.
It's definitely scared people, because like even when you hear stories from like your parents, like grandparents or whatever, like it's kind of just history repeating itself, and it shouldn't be happening again. And I think the bigger issue is like it's awareness. Like even in our own community, people don't know what's going on, they don't understand, and it's like it's been twisted into like seen as like terrorism or stuff like that. But that's not what Khalistan means. That's not what getting together and talking about 9/84 like means or anything. So
do you think that with the referendum happening, I think a lot of people have supported the referendum that happened all over the world. Do you think that kind of changed the image of the Khalistan movement in a way to make it look more of a peaceful movement rather than being painted always as a like an extreme movement, a violent movement?
I definitely think it has, but I think it just depends on who you speak to, because if you're getting different information from other places and you don't know, then you don't know what to believe and stuff. But I just think that people just need to start listening to like our voices and stuff as well, and like with the things we're saying, because it's happening right now. Like it was happening then as well, but it's not stopped since then. There's so many other things that are locked up as well.
Do you think that 84 kind of made you get closer to Sikhi? Because sometimes when you see something like your religion or your faith being attacked, thousands of innocents being killed, the reasons behind why the Akal Takht got destroyed, and why the Darbar Sahib was invaded by the Indian army. Do you think that all of that idea of what happened back then kind of brought you closer to Sikhi in a way?
Yeah, I definitely do, because we have such a rich history from before as well. And I think when you hear something that's happened not that long ago, only a couple of decades ago, like it just kind of puts it into perspective for you, so you get to understand like what Sikhi really means and what it actually means to like and be proud of your religion and stuff.
Thank you for chatting to us today, and keep coming to the protests. Thank you. ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ 84 ਦੇ ਮਾਰਚ ਤੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਆਏ ਆ? ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਕੱਠੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ?
ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਅਟੈਕ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਵਨ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਸਥਾਨ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਰੋਸ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਰੋਸ ਮੁਜ਼ਾਹਰਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਆਏ ਆ?
ਅਸੀਂ ਨੋਟਿੰਗਮ ਤੋਂ।
ਅੱਛਾ, ਫਿਰ 4 ਘੰਟੇ 3 ਘੰਟੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਆ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਰੇਕ ਸਾਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ?
ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਆਈਦਾ।
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ? ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਆ ਉਹ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ?
ਸਾਡੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਲੀਵ ਕਰਦੇ ਇਸ ਤੇ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਭਾਜੀ।
It just brings the community together, society together. It gives wisdom to the younger children, the generation that comes along, and it's just inspiring.
What sort of impact did 1984 have on you? Because a lot of people that we have spoken to today has said that 1984 was kind of changed their whole sort of outlook on Sikhi itself.
It has bring a massive impact towards the Sikhism compared to the 1984 compared to now. It has made bringing the society community together, bringing the just remembering the Khalistan together.
All the sacrifices that were made by Sikh families, Sikh children, Sikh women during the 1984 movement up till 1995, thousands of people sacrificed themselves for the Khalistan movement. How does that make you feel as a Sikh woman?
It makes us feel strong. It makes us inspire our children. It makes, nowadays children, again, the community gathers together. It's just keeping the dastar, getting the, religion back to normal again. There's loads of children who are getting out of the community. We're trying to bring the community together and bring the Sikhism together and gather as much as possible. And nowadays generation, again, it's the positive, to be fair.
And also, when you look back at 1984, what's the one thing that kind of comes to mind?
What comes to it's basically it's the dastar, to be fair. Again, looking at Bibiyan having chunni on the heads, boys having the star on their heads. It's proud to be a Sikh, to be fair. Wearing Gara, the 5Ks and keeping the religious quite strong and, keep going.
So you think in 1984 there was way more Sikhi than there is today?
Yes, that is true.
And what's the flag about?
The flag is about Punjab. Khalistan.
Referendum, okay, voting.
Yeah, to represent it, yeah.
That's very good. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hanji,
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. We're just here with Herman from Shere Punjab, and Herman's been doing a lot of seva in Birmingham, as you know. Herman Paji's bumped into us at the 84 rally. We're going to ask Paji why he's here today and why he's been coming for the past 39 years.
Well, we're here because of the crimes the Indian government's committing against the Sikhs, crimes against humanity. They've been since 1947, since India's had independence. We was promised independence, and since then there's been a genocide against the Sikhs, and they've been quite clever about it. They've attacked our temples, literally killed 250,000 Naujawan, that's youth, after 1984, and the genocide still goes on. I mean, now the genocide, before they were shooting us with bullets, and now they're killing us with drugs. There's a big pandemic with the drugs in Punjab, and it's all done by the government. It's all done by the government.
Do you think when these sort of rallies happen and people get together, like the Sikh community always does anyways, but do you think these sort of rallies bring awareness for the communities out there for them to get to know what happened in 1984?
Yeah, absolutely, because social media is very strong at this very moment. I mean, 1984 and 1984 happened, there was a blackout on the media, and it was just national media. When they had a blackout, we couldn't get the information out. But now with social media, they can't stop the information from getting out there. And it's just about educating people, because Sikhs are good people. We're God-loving people. We believe in God's in everyone, and we want to look after everyone. We think the best for people. So Partapala Guru Nanak Maharaj told us that, and we're doing our dar. So we're out there to help people, and we are good people. So, and I think with the media nowadays, it helps them bring the real story out about the Sikhs, which is a real good thing.
Do you think that Shere Punjab, so I understand that Shere Punjab is going to be doing a football tournament in the up and coming weeks. What's the football tournament about? Is that regarding 984, the Shahidi month?
Yeah, but the Sanghs do it annually, every year. I'm not actually involved in this seva, the youngsters do it, I mean, I wouldn't class myself as Shere Punjab. I don't do the seva with Shere Punjab, but yes, I do get involved. I'm just under the Gurus in the Nishan Sahib. I'll walk with anyone that's a Guru Sikh. You know what I mean? I don't class myself as Shere Punjab. I'm Guru da Sikh. I'm Guru in the Nishan Sahib. They hit. I'm with the Taksalis, the Hang Singhs.
Everybody.
So
that's the way it should be.
And that's the way I'd like to think myself to be. And I think everyone should think like that. That Guru da sada hukum ditta hai. Ekta, sari ekta honi chahiye. Because even when I used to do Shere Punjab, when we was back in the day, we were doing it quite hard to say about we believed in unity is our strength, and I grew up knowing unity is our strength, and that's what we need in the Panth. We need everyone to come together. whichever Jatabande, if you're wearing a pag, you're a Singh. So we need to come together and fight these injustices. We're good for fighting for the people's countries. We stand up for Palestine. We stand up for all these countries around the world. I mean, we feed them and all the rest of it. But we've got to stand up for ourselves as well, which is a big thing. Because if we don't stand up for ourselves, we're going to get walked over, which is literally the Indian government are. But there's a good thing which is happening now. It's Pai Amritpal. It's really bad what's happened to Pai Amritpal. Do you mind if I talk about Pai Amritpal?
Go for it.
Okay. Pai Amritpal was taken. He left Dubai to go to Punjab because he's seen the issues of Punjab. He's seen what the Indian government are doing in Punjab with the drug pandemic, with Biyadbi, with Maharaj Swaroop and all the rest of it. He's seen all this and he's seen where Punjab was going. So he left a nice life from Dubai where he was Sungi Roti Khanda si, and he went to Punjab for us. And he went there to stand for our rights, stand for Sikhism and stand for what Sikhi believes in. Ekta and all the rest of it, and Sabarta Palani, he went there for us and he's been arrested now on false allegations of false charges. The only crime he has committed, and it's not even a crime, he's been helping the youth come off drugs, and he's helped mass youth come off drugs with the pandemic of drugs happening in Punjab, because we all know what's happening. They're trying to, when we've got all immigration happening in Punjab, we've got the drug pandemic, it's literally they're trying to kill our youth off in any which way possible, and he's seen that. He went out there to help the Punjabis, to help our Sikh Panth, and for us now, we as a Qawm should stand with him.
Do you think that's what's got him into trouble with the police? Because, I mean, if he's going up against the drug pandemic and he's going up against these drug lords and the corrupt system back home, do you think that's what's got him kind of in trouble with the system itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just got to look at Malcolm. Watch your film Malcolm X. I mean, when you had the Black Panther movement and the Kala movement was very strong, and what did they do back then? The system brought in crack cocaine and it was given to the Kala started selling it, and then they had the violence of the violence with all the drug crime and all the rest of it, and the gun crime, which the guns were actually given by the governments and all that. And the same thing is happening in Punjab. The Indian government has just copied what's happened in America, and they're doing it to our people. So we've got serious issues where Amritpal has gone out there to help the youth come off drugs, which is a good thing. I mean, he's doing good. A lot of people, a lot of parents are crying when their kids die. You know what I mean? And last thing you want is your son or your daughter in a Gandhi Nali overdosing on drugs and that.
I think when Pai Amritpal Singh definitely came on the scene, a lot of it was highlighted on the media, with people just coming out with their stories. Prior to that, there was a lot of like stuff coming out, but it wasn't as, how do you say it? It wasn't really out there. Now, since Pai Amritpal Singh came on the scene, a lot of it just started coming out, and it was just unsurfacing.
Well, we know it's all them. I mean, the last time I went to Punjab, we started a short up ender, and people on drugs, I've seen them taking smack on a chamcha. This heroin called smack's called heroin, as far as I know, and they were taking on chamcha and they were burning it with a cigarette lighter. So the pandemic, I've seen it myself, and I've seen, the thing is, what's happened in Punjab now, everyone needs to get it, not just the Singhs, because the drugs is affecting the Hindus, it's affecting the Christians, it's affecting the Muslims, it's affecting everybody. So the whole of Punjab should stand up, because what's happened now, the government are losing money, because obviously the police are, because they're the ones that peddle the drugs and that. The government can't push their agenda, because the agenda is getting stopped, because obviously they want the genocide of Sikhs, and that's getting stopped. So that's what the reason they've arrested Amritpal Singh. And we need to back him. We really need to get behind
100%. You can just hear Herman Paji saying that everyone needs to support Pai Amritpal Singh. Yeah. He's the only person that's standing up for the Sikhs at the moment in Punjab. Every single other leader is corrupt, or they got a personal agenda. Pai Amritpal Singh came, left his luxury lifestyle in a different country, left his youthhood, and joined a movement for the Sikh Qawm to free us from slavery, as Pai Sahib's just put it. So, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Today, why are you at this demonstration today?
Well, this is to raise awareness on what's happened back in '84. It's from Operation Booster, when Margaret Thatcher was involved with Indira Gandhi. They got together, killed an innocent.
Nice little t-shirt, they go in and you got your high vis that says Khalistan. What's the reason for this?
Vaheguru Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh ji. ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ 84 ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਇਆ ਜੀ, ਉਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਤੇ ਬਸ ਉਹਦੀ ਯਾਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੁੰਨੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਸਾਲ। ਮੈਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਹਰੇਕ ਸਾਲ ਜਾਈਏ, ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ 'ਚ ਆਏ ਆ, ਤੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਆਏ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ, ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਹੱਲੇ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੀ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਕੀਪ ਆਵਰ ਕਿਡਸ ਅਵੇਕ ਵਾਟਸ ਬੀਨ ਹੈਪਨਿੰਗ ਟੂ Sikh and by Indian government and we shouldn't forget, and then to keep reminding our younger generations what's coming, and we need to keep doing until we get our own state, which is Khalistan obviously.
how many ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ 'ਚ ਆਈਆਂ? ਕਦੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਕਰੇ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦਾ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਕਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਡੈਮੋਨਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਆਈਆਂ? ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿਸਦੀਆਂ, ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਫਿਗਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਆਈਆਂ?
I think it must be at least 5,000. Easy, I would say. That's the minimum. It could up to be 10,000. Because some people obviously come in Trafalgar Square से ਸਿੱਧੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਹਾਂਜੀ scattered, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਈ ਲੋਕੀ ਸਿੱਧੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਕਈਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ 'ਚ ਘੱਟੋ ਘੱਟ 5,000 ਤਾਂ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਸੌਖਾ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਈਜ਼ੀ। ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਫॉर ਸਪੀਕਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਅਸ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਜੀ।
ਇੰਡੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਉਂ ਆਈਆਂ ਇੱਥੇ 84 ਦੇ ਮਾਰਚ ਤੇ? ਅੱਜ
84 ਦੇ ਘੱਲੂਘਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਨੇ ਅਟੈਕ ਕੀਤਾ, ਨਿਹੱਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਮਾਰੇ, ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਰੋਸ ਮੁਜ਼ਾਹਰੇ ਚੱਲੇ।
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ 84 ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਯਾਦ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ?
ਅਕਾਲ ਤਖਤ।
ਅਕਾਲ ਤਖਤ। ਅੱਛਾ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ 84 ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਡਿਕਲਾਈਨ ਹੋਈ ਆ, ਕਿਦਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਡਾਊਨ ਗਈ ਆ, ਅਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਈ ਹੈਗੀ?
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਚੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਤਰਾਈ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆ ਗਈ ਆ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੱਠੇ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਘੱਟ ਆ।
ਇਹਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਕੀ ਹੈ? 84 ਹੈ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ, ਬਾਹਰ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਨਸਾਫੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ
ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਇਨਸਾਫੀ ਆ
ਜੀ। ਨਹੀਂ ਬਸ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਬਾਹਰ ਜੁੜੇ ਆ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨਾਲ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ 84 ਦਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਅਸਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ?
84 ਦਾ ਅਸਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੁੰਨੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੰਜ ਸਿੰਘ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਪੱਗਾਂ ਦੇਖਦੀਆਂ। 84 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਜੀ। ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਇਹਦੇ ਮਾਰਚ 'ਤੇ ਆਏ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀਰ ਮਿਲੇ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ, ਰੋਇਲ ਐਨਫੀਲਡ ਬੁਲਟ 'ਤੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਭਰਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੋਨੋਂ। ਮੈਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਆਈ ਆ ਆਉਣ ਦੀ ਇੱਥੇ 84 ਦੇ ਮਾਰਚ 'ਤੇ?
ਭਾਜੀ ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 39 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਆਉਂਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਵੀਂ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਵਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਗਦੇ, ਇਨਸਾਫ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਰਾਜ ਹੋਇਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪੇ ਲੈ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਪਰ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਨਵੀਂ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਵਾ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੀ, ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ, ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਹਿੰਦੂਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਆ, ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਇਕੁਅਲ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਦਸ ਵਾਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਵੀਂ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ 84 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ।
ਕਾਫੀ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਕਾਫੀ ਚਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ 84 ਵਿੱਚ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਟਾਈਮ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੂਵ ਔਨ ਕਰੋ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ 84 ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ। ਇੰਡੀਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਸੁਪਰ ਪਾਵਰ ਬਣਨ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ ਨਾ, ਤਰੱਕੀਆਂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਓ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੋ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਦਾ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਘਰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਵਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਸਟੇਟ ਸੀਗੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, ਇਹ 1947 ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਕੱਠਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਵਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਜ ਸੀਗਾ। ਖੁਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਜ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਲ ਭੀਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਸਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਜ ਸੀਗਾ। ਤੇ 1947 ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾ, ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੌਮ ਕਦੀ ਗੁਲਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਸਕਦੀ।
ਸੋ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਆ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਚੰਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਰਸ ਹੀ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ?
ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਰਾਜ ਹੋਇਆ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਸਹੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ।
ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ
ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਖਰਾਬ ਆ। ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਜਨਤਾ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਪੀੜ੍ਹੀ ਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ 'ਚ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ। ਕਿਉਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ? ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਮਾਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ, ਕੋਈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਕੋਈ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਪਾਲ ਨੂੰ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਆਪਣਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾਉਣ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਛ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ 'ਚ ਫਸਾਤਾ। ਜੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੜਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਫੜ ਤਾਂ ਘਰੋਂ ਵੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਘਰੇ ਉਹ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਘਰੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਇੱਕ ਹਵਾ, ਇੱਕ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਟੈਰੋਰਿਸਟ ਸੀ ਉਹ। ਕੀ ਟੈਰੋਰਿਸਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ?
ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਦਨਾਮੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ।
ਇਹ ਬਦਨਾਮੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਮੇਜ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁੱਡ ਆ, ਬਾਹਰਲੀਆਂ ਕੰਟਰੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣਿਆ। ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ, ਵਰਲਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖ।
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਭਾਈ ਅਮਰਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਲੈਰਿਟੀ ਆ ਗਈ ਮੈਟਰ ਤੇ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਧੱਕਾ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੀ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਧੱਕਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਭਰਾ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਭਰਾ ਤੋਂ, ਕੋਈ ਇੱਕ ਹੀ ਹੱਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ, ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਭਰਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ। ਇਸੇ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Ji Ki Fateh. We're just inside Trafalgar Square now. It's at the end of the rally and we've bumped into Panji here. And we're going to ask them why they're here today, what's the reason behind it.
I'm here to support the cause for Khalistan, for independence, sovereignty, for Sikh state. Unfortunately, it's not widely known what the injustice committed in Punjab right now. It's really, only few people know about that, and I want to raise the awareness that what is happening, and so people know about that and can help to spread the word and support the people, because what's happening, violence, unlawful detention, killings of activists who try to raise this question about what's happening, how the people are oppressed in Punjab. So I think they need wider public need to know about it and they can support it. Otherwise, in silence, everything's happening.
So this is all about awareness, letting people know what's happening to the Sikhs back in Punjab and how the Sikh community stands by a separate country that they want to create out of India.
Yes, you can say so. It's Sikh sovereignty. It's more than just have a bit of land, which is, well, it's important. I don't say anything like that. But that's the point, that it's you know, it's like Sikh community is not only Punjab community.
It's all over.
Yeah, it's all over. Like you see myself, I'm not Punjabi.
Where are you from exactly?
Well, originally Russian, but I live in UK about 20 years now. So for me, it became this way to see what's to learn about this cause. And I'm supported wholeheartedly. And also Punjab is not my homeland, no roots there. I've got some spiritual connection to it. And generally speaking, even regardless that you are not Sikh, doesn't matter. There is injustice happening, and it's important to build wider community to support this cause, to knowing what's happening so that it can be prevented, because it does take a lot of lives and blending a lot of people's lives, you know, what's happening. And well, because it's under the shadow of silence, the things happening just without people knowing about it. It's not shy to commit this crime.
It's your duty as a Sikh to always stand up and fight for justice.
Yes, like predominantly yes, but it's just human being as well. I don't think that it's new. That's what we need to raise awareness. Like while we're passing with the protest, we're giving leaflets away for people who is not Sikh. They just know, because it's a lot of injustice happening in their name, in British people. Ordinary people doesn't know what British government might support India, and that's what's doing, making Khalistani terrorists and all this stuff. That's why it's kind of important so the people know what's happening.
Thank you for speaking to us. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'm going to say a few words as to why she's here today. Hanji.
We're here to tell everyone that we think what the Indian government is doing to Sikhs that have done nothing isn't right and it's not fair.
What have they done?
By arresting innocent Sikhs just for being Sikhs.
Okay. How long has that been going for?
Quite a while now, and recently they were arrested by Bal Singh for running away, and they put a blackout so no one could speak about it.
Do you know what happened in 1984?
I think there was an attack at Harmandir Sahib, and some of the Sikhs went to go battle against the Mughals, and loads of them got shaheed.
Can you name one shaheed from 1984?
Baba Amrik Singh, I think. Bhai
Amrik Singh, okay. Bhai Amrik Singh. Thank you for speaking to us. Thank you.
Of other people with religious values that are not consistent with the government. If that's what I'm watching, then that's a pretty horrible thing. I'm not sure what else to say except that I have a real love and respect for the Sikh people, and I'm glad that everyone's gathered, and I didn't know India did these things, and I'm really glad I'm having a chance to learn, because I just did not know.
Do you think living in the 21st century hearing about genocides happening is very disturbing.
It's beyond disturbing. I can't keep up with it anymore, but yeah, it's beyond disturbing. And this is what has happened. So I feel powerless. I would like to go do something.
Do you think that everyone around the world should create awareness when things like this do happen?
I wish that we could tap a global zeitgeist where we all wrote or called or did something to say a genocide has happened again and God let it stop.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Thank you. I hope I know so little, but I hope I express my heart.
Thank you so much.
Well, for 1984, I'm telling you now that we're just going to carry on fighting for this justice. We've been doing it for a long time. 38 years is a long time for us. And I think we will fight. We're Sikhs and we're never going to stop. So for us, it's a very painful thing. And I still remember it up until this day. I still remember it. So it's still quite very fresh in my mind as well.
When you look back, is there a certain memory that you have that really kind of brings everything else up as well? Is there a certain memory?
Well, I do remember when I coming over from school and there was this whole news on on TV and that my father watched it, my mother watched it, my father cried and so did my mother because he's actually from Amritsar. So yeah, and it was a story, a history that he was telling us about, and it still hits us up until now. It's a very painful thing.
Growing up, hearing about Sanjanel Singh Ji Bhindranwale, the sacrifice that they made for us all, and then you heard media outlets that were talking really bad about them, especially the Indian outlets. What do you think about that? Sanchi in this day and age, especially after Sidhu Moosewala's death and Deep Sidhu's death, a lot of stuff has just kind of erupted where people and Sikh sentiments and Sikhs feelings towards Sanchi has kind of just opened up, because Sidhu Moosewala and obviously even Deep Sidhu were kind of advocates for Sanchi and that. They always talked about Sanchi.
Yeah, but it's like it's always saying politics. That is what it's always about. We've never had justice. We are going to be fighting for our justice. And again, India is a very, very corrupt country. And I think it's about time the whole world gets to know about it and gets to know what we Sikhs are never ever going to stop fighting, because this justice is just going on and on and on, and it's a very painful subject for a lot of people to share. A lot of families have lost their loved ones, like you mentioned, Sidhu Moosewala. Families, they've lost a lot of people, and going through what? Through politics.
So we're here today and we're going to make India naked, basically.
You're damn right, because I'm happy with that. Yes. I'm with you on that.
Khalistan
Zindabad.
Thank you very much.
1984, remembering what happened is such an important thing, especially for the new generation. So we're all pretty much born after the 80s, and it's important to know what our roots are, what happened, why we're where we are today, what's happening today in Punjab, and all these important people that are getting killed, that are trying to send out a little bit of a message, and it's just a reoccurrence of what's happened in the past. So we need to remember what's going on, be at these important events, and remember our shaheeds, because they are why we can be here freely today and express our Sikhi and have these views. So it's important, and I think all the little youngsters that are here is brilliant to see, because they need to know, because one day the elders are not going to be here. Every year there's fewer and fewer people that were actually there at the events, so it's massive for us.
Do you think Khalistan is a must for the Sikhs right now?
It's a must. I mean, if anyone's gone and seen the film Battle of Amritsar, it's a massive eye-opener, and it's such a great digital platform that we're using, and it gives the message out. So if anyone hasn't watched it, go and watch it. And Khalistan is important, because without that we are not getting our rights, just basic human rights. Those in Punjab that are suffering, it has to come to an end. And unfortunately these steps are going to happen, where we're going to see big events where people are getting shot, killed, and these injustices are just going to carry on until we get Khalistan.
It's a one-day event, once a year. What's your message for all the people that are sitting home on their couches, just watching TV, having food, just chilling out? Do you think they should have been here today?
You have to be here at these events. It's one event that happens. Some say, what do these achieve, why should we go, but it's one day out of the year where we all unite for this one reason and we come outside. It's not a program in a Gurdwara, it's not a Samagam, it's not, you know, they're important too and we do those, but this is the one event we do outside the Gurdwara and out in London. And if we stop doing this, then it's not right. So no, I think, you know, this is the least we could do. We're not out there starving, hungry, being shot, being targeted or persecuted. So if we can't give one day to this, there's no point.
Thank you, Benji. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Hanji, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. We're just at the 84 rally and we've just seen Benji, so we're going to ask them about their views on 84.
So I think 1984 is a really significant event for the Sikhs, and especially for all the shaheeds at this month, and it's a time to just focus on them, and especially the women who were shaheed during this period. Sometimes they're not spoken about as much. For example, Bibi Waheguru Kaur and Satnam Kaur, they're only 6 and 8 years old and they put shaheedi this month. So it's really important not just to focus on the men who were shaheed, but also the women. And I think as women we should also be at this event encouraging and even speaking about how many women were shaheed during this month. And I think, you know, women should be the forefront in talking about these issues, speaking up against the Indian government and what they're doing and how they're still neglecting Sikhs to this day. So that's why for me it's really important to come.
Do you think that the Sikhs should have their own country, as in, you know, within India? Do you think that we should have a sovereign nation where we can be safe and have everyone live with us as well? Not only for Sikhs, just like for everybody, Hindus, Christians, everyone that's there, based on Sikh principles, based on the Guru's principles. Do you think we should have our own country?
Yes, I do agree with that statement. Santji always spoke up against all religions, all castes. So he wanted the best for Punjabis, and it wasn't just for Sikhs. And for me, that's something quite special and something to aspire to. So I 100% agree with Khalistan and the idea of a sovereign nation, and you know, we should be supporting that. And also it's so important to learn about what they're doing right now to the Sikhs and all religions, actually, minorities there, Christians, even what's happening in Kashmir. There's so much happening right now. Yeah, to even the poor, and it's just such a very deep topic, and for us it's important to just keep researching about it and keep up with what's happening in the news as well, and also like what's happened with 2 singers, you know, who passed away recently, and understanding that that has been rooted from the Indian government and that nothing has been happened with them, and to just make sure you research about it, I would say.
Thank you.
ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ 84 'ਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੰਗੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਦੂਕਾਰੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਡੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੇਕਸੂਰ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ 'ਤੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਆ। ਬਾਕੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ।
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਪਦਾ ਘਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ? ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ। ਖਾਲਸਤਾਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਲਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਫੁੱਲ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Paji, what's your vichar on 984? We're here today at the rally. What's your vichar?
Well, vichar that we should always, all of us should attend. You know, we've got to remember the shaheeds of that time, and you know, and hopefully push for. I mean, we do this every year. We come here every year, hoping that you know, politicians and people that are of influence, you know, will recognise us and recognise our plight and give us justice. You know, to live further.
What do you think is the solution out of this? I mean, we got here together. What are we asking for? We're asking for Khalistan? Is that what we're asking for?
In a way, yeah, that's what the actual push is for. You know, first of all, we just want, originally the Mung was for rights, you know, rights to work, and
the Nanpur Mata, which was Sant Pindawani has talked about that, the resolution that they wanted to be passed, the waters and the rights and the equality and all that in Punjab, you know? but then they led to something else, because from that they asked for it, and then they said, look, if you're not going to give it to us and you're going to come attack us, that's when the foundations of Khalistan will be laid. We're not asking for it, we're not against it.
Exactly.
But if you're not going to give it to us and you're going to attack us, the foundations are going to be laid. So I'll be asking for it today though, that's the thing.
Well, the lade that we're doing now are for Khalistan, and that's what we're asking. How we're going about it, that's only, you know, politically, you know what's happening over there. They squash everything, squash all thought processes and everything, you know.
But do you think that so the referendum's going on, the Sikh for Justice are trying to pass it through with the UN, the United Nations? Do you think that's the right way of going about it in a political sense?
Of course, definitely. You know,
we should question the UN, the United Nations.
Yeah,
human rights violations.
That's right. Yeah, these are war crimes. You know, if you look at them like that, you know, definitely.
Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So we was with the young brothers and we're going to ask them about, and sisters, sorry, we're going to ask them about what they think about 84 and why they're here today.
So I'm here today to remember all the Shaheed things and all the people that fought in 1984 to like help
others.
Yeah, help others and save the Harmandir Sahib from getting attacked.
Yourself?
I'm here to remember the Shaheeds and why they fought for us.
I'm here to remember the Shaheeds and why it happened.
Okay. Yourself?
I'm here to remember the Shaheed and the story about them.
I'm here today to make everyone aware of what has happened in our history and our past, and to remember all those Shaheed things in Singnia in 1984.
I'm here today because we need to remember about our history, because 1984 is a big part of it.
Darling, you want to say something? No? Okay, Jakarta?
Khalistan Jindabad! Khalistan
Jindabad! Jindabad! Khalistan Jindabad! Khalistan Jindabad! Khalistan Jindabad!
Are you here today in the rally?
Well, this is my first time. Just want to show support to my Sikh brothers.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you know much about what happened in Amritsar and with the Sikhs and the human rights violations?
Well, 1984 was when the Golden Temple was attacked by the Indian government, and which actually caused uproar within the Sikh community because they attacked the Golden Temple against this march.
And loads of innocent young children and women and worshippers were killed by the Indian forces.
Yeah.
Do you think in this day and age we're living in the 21st century, do you think anyone's got the right to attack anywhere and kill civilians or kill people that that are worshippers? Do you think anyone's got that sort of right, whether it's a government, whether it's an army? Do you think they got that right?
Well, to be honest, we live by grace, and it's God's grace we're here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're supporting the Sikhs today.
That's right.
Do you think that the Sikhs should have their own little country where they can be safe within India?
Khalistan,
yes. Not only for Sikhs, for everybody, but based on Sikh principles, because the Sikhs believe in equality, diversity, helping one another, and it's all about diversity. So it respects all faiths. It doesn't say that we're the right religion. It doesn't say that we're the right people. It says that everyone should work together for a common goal, which is unity and peace. And do you think that for that reason, do you think there should be a Khalistan for everybody to be safe and...
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
Yes. Thank you. Genocide happened in India. The Indian government committed it. They killed thousands of Sikhs. Ethnic cleansing, you could call it. 40 years on, no justice. It's getting worse back home. This is killing people. They're playing religion with each other. The Sikhs are very peaceful people. They always help others. Our religion teaches us to be tolerant, respect other religions. We're not a missionary faith. Many missionary faiths are out there to prove other people wrong. But we just say let everyone live by whatever they believe in. Whether it's they believe in, Hogwarts or Lord of the Rings, or they believe in a rock or a stone, let them be, let them live their life. We're not here to judge anyone. We as Sikhs should only help if the person that believes in a stone hasn't got food on the table. It's our duty as Sikhs to make sure that they do without any personal agenda. You know, a lot of people would do service with personal agenda, whether it's to convert somebody, whether it's to show that, you know, this is what we do, personal reward. We don't do that. We just help people just out of humanity. So for us to be in a genocide in India is a big thing, and you know, it's hurtful as well as a community that's always helping others. You know, it's a time, it's in the hour of need. A lot of people have refused to stand with the Sikhs, and we're creating awareness and we're letting the world know that we shouldn't be silenced, and the rest of the world should stand with us, because we always stood with everybody else. So it's our turn for people to stand with us now. And we're trying to ask for an independent country where we're governed by Sikh values. If we have our own country where we're governed by Sikh values, we can do way more charity work. We can help with different, you know, issues around the world. Sikh values are just about helping people, helping humanity without personal gains. So I hope I've kind of summed up.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that.
You can go away and you can do your own research as well.
Yeah, of course.
Indian Army, Indian Army, they attacked lots of thousands of children, women, yeah, and they killed thousands of people. Genocide, you know genocide? So they killed thousands of people, and that's why we are asking for justice, and we're creating awareness every year. Sikhs, we are Sikhs, so we're from North India. North India. India's big place, different languages, different cultures, different religions, very big place, India, like Europe. But have a look, you see, if you type in 1984 Sikh, it'll come up, you can read on the internet.
Hello, I'm Piers Corbyn from Let the UK Live, and I'm here on this day of action against the oppression by the Indian regime of the Sikhs. And I'm here to say, outside India House, that it's very important that all progressive movements give unconditional support for the Sikh struggle of resistance against the historic and continuing massacre and genocide of Sikh people. Historically, it's completely evil, and it carries on that way. All of the evils are being perpetrated by the Indian superstate, and if the Sikhs win, it'll be a tremendous blow to the Indian superstate and the whole of the New World tyranny being attempted to be imposed upon us. So it's very important. We fight with the Sikhs, we break the Indian superstate, and we say victory to Khalistan. Thank you.